Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Meal Prep Sunday. It's Candice Lee from Candice Lee Fired Up, Independent Epicure Consultant and Meal Prep Whiz. And this morning I am going to just walk you through my meal prep. I've done a couple things already just because I just don't want to burn anything. So I did pancakes already. These are protein truffle pancakes. And then these I can just put right into the fridge or freezer and have them for all week. Just quickly toast them up or however you like. Morning, Angel. Oops. Moving things, sorry if I got you dizzy there. So protein pancakes, I actually use our protein powder and our gluten-free flour. I like using this actually, it's awesome for making pancakes and waffles and donuts and all that kind of stuff because it already has like baking powder and everything in there, so I don't really have to add all that, which is awesome. And the sweetness that I use actually was our sweet dip called truffle. It's called chocolate truffle, and I just put a little bit of that in. That's why they kind of look a little browner, is because they've got a bit of chocolate in them. Excuse me. That's the breakfast. I can make eggs really easily. Couple minutes in the microwave with our omelet maker. Just beat up a couple eggs, put in your favorite seasoning, some veggie, cheese, whatever you like, and like less than 2 minutes you've got an omelet, and you can either wrap it or just eat it, and there you go. So super easy and easy to clean, and yeah, so those for me, breakfast is pretty much under control for me this week. I might make a smoothie or something, but smoothies are, again, pretty easy to make. I don't need to fuss too much with that. So let's get on to dessert, because that's really what we're here for, right? So I'm going to make our chocolate gluten-free brownies. I'm going to make them in our perfect petite pan that you can see here. That way I get 30 little ones, and I can, again, freeze them and have them all week long. So I'm just going to dump the mix right in. It's pretty much just like having any normal brownie mix, except that it's quite a lot cleaner. So like this one has organic cane sugar, chickpea flour, organic cocoa powder, baking soda and sea salt, and that's it. And then makes 12 muffin types ones, so you can use a muffin pan instead of this if you wanted. And there you go. So you can make this the way it says, which is with eggs and butter, or you can make it vegan however you like. So I'm actually going to make it vegan today just because that's just the way I like them personally. So I'm going to put in some applesauce, and I'm going to put in a bit of coconut milk, not too much of the fat because I want that for the other thing I'm making. I probably will add in a little bit of almond milk as well. So just play around. I mean, personally, just play around with the recipe into however it is that you like it. Or you can just follow it exactly what it says, which is, I believe, it is 2 eggs with, a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And there you go. So give it a good mix. And there you go, brownie batter, not butter. All right, and then I'm just going to use a bit of grapeseed oil into our perfect petites so that it doesn't stick. Just depending on what you're using with the perfect petites, sometimes you don't even need to put any oil in. If it's really like an oily thing. So when I'm making my peanut butter chocolate bars I like making, like Reese's, but my own, I don't put any in because obviously there's quite a bit of oil and fat and all that in there. But for these, we didn't put all that much in, so I definitely want to make sure that they don't stick. There we go. So I already had the oven started at 350, and I'm just going to pour some of this in using a spoon. Another thing, you don't really have to worry about it being messy, because seriously, you're just going to eat them. So if you have any questions, or if you just jumped on, go ahead and ask questions. We just got started with breakfast. And now we're moving on to dessert. And then we'll move on to some sauces and starches and that to have for the week. So my veggies, my tip for veggies is always when you come home after you bought them from grocery stores, give yourself an extra half an hour to portion out your protein if you're someone who eats meat. So that way when you're freezing it or putting it in the fridge, it's the right portion so you're not end up eating, I don't know, 2 pounds or whatever worth of fish or salmon or I don't know, chicken, all in the same couple of days. And that's one way to stop yourself from feeling like, oh my God, I'm eating the same thing over and over again. It's just kind of portion it out a little bit better or easier for you. So if you're a family of 4, or if you're just 2 people, or you're just one, for 1 or 2 people, I would totally recommend cooking once and eating twice. That way, again, you're not spending a horrid amount of time cooking and having to figure out what to make every time because you kind of already prepped yourself ahead. Okay. Just soak that. Okay. So, brownies already set up, ready to go. I'm going to put them into the oven. Put on the timer. I'll start with 12 minutes. Just so that I can keep an eye on it and I don't burn them. Okay, next is we're going to work into a starch. So I'm just going to get my multi-purpose pot, which is amazing because it actually has measurements on the side and a good thing. So we're going to actually make some wild rice. Literally just follow the instructions. I'm making this ahead just so that I can easily use it for nourish bowls or a quick dinner. So 1 cup. How much we got left? Yeah, that's fine. And then a cup and almost 2 cups basically of water is what it says. So I'm just going to use the prep bowl and put in, and I'm using hot water just so that it kind of speeds things up. And you can season your rice or your pasta or anything right there with the water, and I'm just going to use chicken broth. You don't have to use chicken broth, you can use veggie broth, you can use, I don't know, if you want it a little bit hot, you can put some salsa in there. There's so many different ways, and it's basically a teaspoon per cup. So, there we go. So then that just goes on the stove for 25 minutes. We'll just keep an eye on that. Once it boils up, you just turn it back down to medium and let it go. So hopefully I'll remember that and not have it boil over. Apologize for coughing. I'm still dealing with my little sinus infection. Okay, so pancakes are done. Brownies are in the oven. I've got some rice going, so that's that. And then we're gonna move on to the next 2 pieces. So the next piece is actually getting some butter chicken going. So the butter chicken, I'm actually not gonna put any veggies or anything in it. I just want, sorry, the sauce and the chicken. You can do chickpeas or whatever, so that I can easily freeze it. I don't like mushy veggies personally, is what it comes down to. So if I just do the sauce and the chicken right now, and then when I'm ready to actually eat it later on this week, I pull it out into portions, and then I can just throw in the veggies and quickly heat it up, because veggies don't take that long to cook up, right? So in essence, if you're someone, if you don't mind, the other option is you could put squash in. You can do that now. You could put your chickpeas and get that ready. So it doesn't have to be chicken. It can be any form, like jackfruit or whatever you like. Okay, so I got chicken already chopped up and ready to go. And that's another thing is I kind of cut myself off, didn't there? So when I come home with my groceries, I prep the protein, but I also prep the veggies. So wash them and get them out of the bags, or if I've got them at a grocery place, like a green place, just wash them and put them into containers, but dry them. And each one kind of has their own way of being stored. Like eggplant, and that likes to be free in the little drawer. Celery likes to be actually in water. things like that. So if you need way more information about how all that is, I can give that to you later. Otherwise, it's just a matter on how much room you have in your fridge and where you can put it. So do that with your veggies when you come home with your groceries. So if you give yourself like an extra half an hour, you can get most of that done. It might be 1 or 2 things you want to leave off and you'll get to it the next day or something, but if your meal prep morning is the very next morning, then no problem, put them in the fridge, and then in the morning you can put everything out and dry it and wash it and away you go. But if it's not, like we get our groceries sometimes a Wednesday or Thursday night, and I might not prep again until Sunday, I get the protein and the veggies already done. So my meal prep morning isn't always like intense, it's broken up throughout the week. And scissors. All right, so I'm just going to get the chicken going first in our wok. So hopefully you can kind of see me. It's got our wok, and I'm going to throw the chicken in. Turn on would be a good start. I'll put a little bit of oil in. You don't have to. You could use broth with a little, instead, if you're somebody that doesn't want a lot of oil. All right, cut up chicken, ready to go. And then while I'm over here, I'm actually also going to get chickpeas made up in our teriyaki sauce. So I can actually put them in my Nourish bowls or a quick salad or a side or something like that. So it's also a good thing to do some black beans or kidney beans or white beans or chickpeas or something, or lentils. Even if you can cook those up, you don't have to have rice, and then you can cook them up, put them in a container, and then you can just add like a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup, whatever it is you're making, on whatever you're liking. So a good, toss your roasted chickpeas on a salad, make a Nourish bowl, that kind of idea. So I'm using our teriyaki. It's a dry glaze, so it's a bit of soy sauce, oil, your thing, and that. So I'm not going to actually use oil because it's chickpeas. This and some soy sauce, warm them up, get the sauce all cooked up on it, put it in a container, and then I have them for the rest of the week. So I just had a can of chickpeas, washed, drained, ready to go. One thing about our seasonings is that because we don't have any anti-caking or anything in it, sometimes if it has something in it that it will cake up, like sugar or something, you can just, the great thing about our 4-in-1 spoon is that it will mix it all up, break it all up for you. Okay, turn that down. Now the rice is just 25 minutes. Chicken's going, and the chickpeas are getting started. Okay, it's good now. Okay, any questions or anything? So, chicken's going. I'm just gonna brown up the chicken before I put in the sauce. Chickpeas are going. They will only take like 5 minutes. I just want enough for the sauce to kind of warm up and cook on top of the chickpeas. And then I will go ahead and get ready for the butter chicken. So the butter chicken says here onion. I don't do onion. So that's the other thing I love about all this is I can make it the way I like it. So I'm not a tomato or onion person, so I don't make butter chicken with either. And it reminds me of a more Tibetan way of making butter chicken, which is really less tomatoes, which is awesome. Okay, and then, what else was I doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna actually try a completely new recipe, which I haven't actually tried yet. And it's our creamy Cato pesto pasta. I've just printed out the recipe so I can easily see it, and it says you're supposed to use 250, basically a cup of a pasta, avocado, some pesto sauce, lemon and cherry tomatoes and all that, and we're just going to mix it all together. So I've already done the pasta. That's what I was doing while I was doing the pancakes this morning, as I cooked up the pasta at the same time. And then it's going to get an avocado, it's going to get some pesto, cherry tomatoes, and some cucumber. So I got the cherry tomatoes already. Here, you can see, this is what I use our rolly thing for, is when I've washed some vegetables and I just put them here to dry that way. Yep, you can see, yep. All right, let me just check on our food. Watch out for steam. All right. Okay, to me, the chickpeas are ready to go. And chicken is coming along, which I turned off the wrong one, so the back one is down. Okay, there we go. So, some toasted up chickpeas in the teriyaki glaze with a bit of soy sauce. Once it cools, I'll put it into a container in the fridge, and I can easily top it, as I said, nourish bowls or use for a salad or something like that. This is what you get for not paying attention. How is our brownies? Oh, long. Might actually just be 12 minutes for them. They look pretty good. Okay, I'm going to use our ceramic knife and chop up some cherry tomatoes. So for me, this salad here would be great as a side, or you could add a bit of like chickpeas or beans or black beans or anything like that and make it a full meal. It'd also be great as like a nourish bowl. If you don't like pasta, you don't have to. I'm just using a veggie pasta here. It's a good thing about our ceramic knives is that they're awesome for cutting up soft vegetables like this. Not so good for hard vegetables, obviously, like root vegetables or anything like that, just because they will chip. And this is our older version, so our newer version is actually black and sleek. So it's a lot more fun looking. Okay. Putting in our tomatoes, and then it says cucumber. And if you're someone who doesn't really want to do a lot of cutting, you could actually use a mandolin or a ceramic slicer and chop up a lot of your vegetables. But personally, I don't mind chopping, so chopping I have. All right. Chicken is browned up. I'm going to add in the seasoning and the coconut milk. Stir it up, and then probably about 10 minutes, the butter chicken will be ready, and it can go into, again, portioned out containers, put into the fridge or the freezer based on when you plan on eating it. So there will be a lot more sauce than you would normally do it, just because you would put vegetables and things like that in it. So this is fine. You want extra sauce because you're going to be putting all the vegetables in. All right. It's okay. And you don't scare me with your chopping. I just more of like, I don't want you to chop off your fingers, but otherwise it was fine. The more you practice, the better you get, right? Okay. I'm just going to put the fan on for a second because I don't want the heat to cause the alarm to go off. But there you go. Brownies, they're just gonna cool, and then I can pop them right out and put them in the freezer, and I'll have little desserts for the week. Okay, we're fine. I'm gonna put the timer on for 10 more minutes for the rice. Okay, so butter chicken's going, rice is going, the brownies are done, pancakes are done, salad is getting going here. So I put in the pasta, the tomatoes, and the cucumber. Now I'm going to actually cut up the avocado and smush that in there. It wants some lemon and olive oil and the pesto mix. Really ripe avocados. It says put all this into actually the food processor, like the sauce part, but I don't know, the avocado looks pretty smushy, so I'm gonna just use fork. Give it a quick smush up. Okay. All right, now I gotta put in the 2 tablespoons of the pesto sauce. Okay, and it wants 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some sea salt, and some lemon. And I forgot the press. And I'm using our 2-in-1 press. Squish in half a lemon, it says. And then leftover lemon, I'm just gonna put in my water. Okay, and then some sea salt. Just checking on the chicken. Rice looks good. And I have some nice olive oil from Epicure, but I broke the container, so I'm just going to use a little bit of that. All right, give it a good smush up. All right, now from here, you're welcome to make it even more, whatever your flavors are like. So it says you can do toppings like Parmesan cheese, some pea shoots, excuse me, pine nuts, fresh basil, whatever you like. So I'm actually will use our nutritional yeast. As in essence, I am attempting to not eat very much dairy. Okay, so that is our creamy cado pesto pasta that you can find right on our website, but I will add it here for you. It's got some veggie pasta in here, an avocado, some pesto sauce, a bit of olive oil, some sea salt, lemon, cherry tomatoes, and cucumber chopped up. And then I can actually add in pea shoots, which we actually have some, so I could put in some pea shoots, which, you know what, we're just gonna do that. And then I can add in our nutritional yeast, which I like our broccoli one. So in essence, it's so it looks like. So nutritional yeast, which is full of all the lovely vitamins that we need. All right. Okay, so salad for today before I head out to another cooking class, and also good for adding to Nourish Bowls for the rest of the week, along with the chickpeas I made, the rice if I wanted to, and a whole bunch of vegetables that we have here. I also got eggplant this week, so that we're gonna make a grilled eggplant stack with zucchini in that, so it's gonna be yummy. And there we go. I don't know what else I got here. Just check on the rice. All right. Okay, so the butter chicken is done, ready to just cool down and go away. You can see it through all the steam, but there's our chicken, butter chicken, ready to go. Rice, it's just got to cool and ready to go for that. And yeah, so pretty much there we go. And that was really only half an hour. So we'll add in a little bit that I did before. So in less than an hour, I have breakfast set up for the week. I have lunches set up for the week, and we're set for dinners and with the prep of our when I came home with groceries. So the protein's put away in the fridge, veggies are put away in the fridge, and we just know what we're eating based on what we put aside on our meal plan and what we have ready to go with seasonings and spices. So I'm done. Just gonna put it all away. Feel free to ask any questions here later. If you watch afterwards, just replay, hit say replay, and I will get back to you with any questions you might have. If you're looking for anything to help you with easy access in the kitchen with ease, as in tools or seasonings or spices, I'd love to help you out with that. I know, was it super quick? I'm like, what else do I need to do? I got sauces made up, I got breakfast, I got dessert, I've got some starch ready to go, I have a salad that I can do, so there you go. Like, you don't need to worry about making everything at once. You can make little pieces of things and just put them, yes, I'll post the butter chicken as well. You can just make little things of it, and then it's just easier to pull it all together, and then so you don't feel like you're spending hours. And to be honest, meal prep doesn't really take hours of your whole day. It just can be like a half an hour here, a half an hour there, and you're good to go. And if you're someone who doesn't need to do a whole week, then do a couple of days. Get yourself breakfast going, or get yourself lunch going, or something that way. You make sure you get your 3 balanced meals a day that got lots of vegetables and grains, fat and protein, all that together, so that you are helping yourself not overeat things that you may not want to actually be eating, and helps you with your digestion and energy levels and being stronger body and all that. So just good balanced meals is what really makes it work. So if you would want to watch what you're eating in the morning, have a really good balance, and then it'll digest slowly, and it'll get you to lunch, and then the same thing, it'll get you to dinner. And then after dinner, have a nice tea or something, or a little piece of chocolate, or one little brownie or something to get you your sweet dessert piece, but then you don't feel like you need to eat a lot. And that's pretty much what I do, so we don't my snacking issue is mostly salt. I really want chips or something, but it's more because I'm bored, so I try to keep myself busy or occupied with drawing or something, so that in the evening I don't eat a lot of that, and it's just a treat for me, maybe once a week or something. But anyway, those are my little tips of what I do, but you're welcome to let me know what you guys do. I'd love to hear it. What's your favorite recipe? What do you guys like to do about meal prep? Are you new at meal prep? What are you looking for to help you with ease in the kitchen? Things like that. I'd love to know more about what you guys are doing and how everything works. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I'll tell you one more thing, just because it's this particular time frame. If you're a sweet person, we have a taste test on right now. It's caramel sauce, and it's super easy to make up. Literally, for me, I'll use coconut milk, so I'll get the package, a can of coconut milk, heat it up, and then I have caramel sauce. You can do it in the microwave too if you have one of our steamers, and there's that. So that's what that is. It's our caramel sauce. You get 2 packages for $10, and it's just till August the 7th. And you don't have to use coconut milk. It says whipping cream and butter, but I just don't do those, so not. And then if you're like toppers, which, where did my topper go? Anyway, we have toppers. Garlicky dill, sesame crunch. It's kind of like our nutritional one. It's got lots of like sesame seeds and things like that add crunch, and that's our customer special this month. So there you go. Have a beautiful Sunday. I'm still around if you have questions. If you want to order anything, you can let me know or use the link above, and I'll help you get yourself going in the kitchen, epicure style. So have a beautiful day and take care.